Hey, what's happening guys? Mike Moo here. So the GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition just got announced yesterday, and just a couple days before the announcement I was talking about the DJI Osmo Action and why I think it's still a really great deal here in 2020. And even with the announcement of the GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition, I still think that this DJI Action should still be in the running, because this is only $220 and it has the main features that a lot of us were asking for. The main one, of course, is the dual screen, is something that the GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition has finally added to their lineup without any additional mods. Another thing that we've asked for is with the GoPro Hero 8, which I have around here somewhere, the GoPro Hero 8 does not have a removable, replaceable lens screen. This is no longer replaceable, and in the GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition, that is replaceable, and they actually have different mods that work with it. But you're paying a much more hefty price. The best price right now, if you're still considering GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition, is directly from GoPro, which is no surprise since they have just announced this camera just yesterday and have provided some review units to a bunch of other reviewers out there. Some of the best example footage you can see from DC Rainmaker, and I'll have a link down below for that, where he tested a bunch of a variety of different action cameras up against each other, just to give you some idea what kind of improvements, if any, in quality that you might realistically expect if you were to show your video or share your video on YouTube. So the GoPro Hero 9 Black has more pixels, of course, more screens. It's got the front and the back screen. It's got more battery life because it's bigger, and that is a negative for some of us who actually have their other GoPro devices. So the GoPro Hero, none of the previous accessories that were made specifically for the GoPro Hero 8 series or 7 series is going to work because it requires a bigger battery. It's also beefier than the GoPro Hero 8, the generation just before that, and of course is not compatible with most of the form-fitting accessories from the GoPro Hero lineup from the 7, 6, and 5 series. So you're just going to have to get all new accessories for that. So GoPro decided that they were going to go ahead and give you some sort of offer, and the best one right now, of course, is still GoPro Direct, and that is $349.98, and that includes 1 year of subscription to GoPro. I think that's about a $50 value. At $349, basically you're paying $300 for the camera and $50 for the annual subscription. They also give you a 32GB SD card to go ahead and get started. I feel like something small like that should have been included anyway, but it's something nice that they kind of added in there. I think that's about a $10-15 value. It's an extreme edition that will work with all the recording formats that it has. So if you're looking to get one, that's right now, a day after the announcement date, the best choice. So let's take a little bit look about some of the things that I think with regards to owning the GoPro Hero 8. And then I briefly owned the 7 or the 6 before that, and I currently also own the 5 and then the 4, all the Black Editions. What is unique about the GoPro Hero 9 that they've really added in the software is the horizon leveling. So let's say we can see an example down here below. And that's where, when you're holding the action camera, and as you know, if you're doing action or if you're doing live vlogging without a gimbal, you tend to rotate sometimes the camera. And I do that quite a bit, and sometimes the footage doesn't look that great when I didn't know I was doing that. So that's something unique that's been added. Of course, I think this is something that can be added to other softwares in the future. It would not surprise me if the DJI team got together and said, hey, let's add that to the DJI Osmo Action as well. So that could be something that is added a little bit later. Something also new is the fact that with the mods that they have, there is a Black Max Hero 9 Black Max lens mod for $100 extra, or $69.99 if you are part of the GoPro Plus thing. This makes it so that the front screen is wide angle enough that it is basically like half of a 360 camera. What they're able to do this is, of course, fit more into the recorded portion of the screen. And if you record the normal view, well, let's just say rectilinear view, it is able to do a lot more in terms of stabilization and rotation. So with the Max Lens mod, if you were even holding the camera all the way this way, or this whole thing got rotated because of whatever it is that you're filming, let's say you are an extreme surfboarder or snowboarder, skateboarder, whatever, and you're flying up in the air with this thing attached to your chest, it will keep the horizon, if you want, completely level. So you can see yourself twirling around the whole thing. And that is something that used to be only available for 360 cameras. So they've had this with the Insta360 360 cameras. It's possible to do that with the gyroscopes and everything. And they've also had this with GoPro's own line of Fusion and Fusion Max cameras to be able to completely level the whole thing out as well. So when you do the Max Lens mod, that opens that other creative possibility to you that all works together with the GoPro ecosystem. So that's something really great to have. Unfortunately, as you can see, you can't actually get that yet. So they'll let you know when that's available. I really hope that they're able to get these out to people a lot quicker than they've had with some of these other mods for the GoPro Hero 8. So, like in my last video, the display mod, if you have a Hero 8 and you're still waiting for the display mod, you, like me, have been waiting for what appears to be like a year now to get that screen up top. Okay, at least here, let's see, at least here, they have the GoPro Hero Media Mod for version 9 already planned out. And you may or may not need this already, because one of the things that it's going to have is 3.5 microphone port out, which is what I wanted to use with this. And that's right over here. It's probably going to be very similar to the one that comes out the GoPro Hero 9 mod. Let's take a look at the pictures here. So that opens up that creative possibility versus using their dongle, which I find to be pretty darn annoying. You still need one anyway if you want professional level type of audio coming out of it. But the built-in directional microphone seems to work only okay on here. And the problem with getting this for the GoPro Hero 8 was that then this prevented me from using a lot of the other lens attachments. Okay, so that's another benefit for the GoPro Hero 9 Black Camera Edition, is that the whole lens is able to be removed and reattached. So that opens up to a lot of other possibilities for third-party makers, including, I believe right here, they're already selling the Polar Pro, or actually they announced that the Polar Pro filters are going to be available. So that's something that is going to be a lot better for you with the GoPro Hero 9. It's been a while and I still haven't been able to find filters that will work with the Media Mod and this together with GoPro's Media Mod. Of course, there are other third-party solutions that will work with that too. So if you need that flexibility, GoPro Hero 9 looks like it's going to have a lot more of those possibilities in there. Now, as far as the image quality, I've looked at all the samples that some of the other YouTubers have had, and it doesn't look like it's really a major increase in quality. It's just an incremental increase in quality. Yes, 5K is now available, and yeah, people have been asking for it, but going from 4K to 5K is a very minimal increase in resolution. Yes, it's nice to have, and yes, it does put this ahead of the competition because of the 5K resolution possibility on there. But there is some other disturbing stuff that we've seen, that I've seen in some of the examples, and I'll point out to YouTuber DC Rainmaker. If you take a look at some of his footage showing this video right here, it's 35,000 views right now, and this was released about 22 hours ago. He spent several hours, countless hours, prior recording back to back with the GoPro Hero 9, 8 DJI Osmo Action and the Insta360 units, you will see that the footage has a lot more flare problems with the Hero 9 than it did with the 8. And that might be the reason why they went with this flatter integrated lens system, is because maybe the quality ended up being a little bit better this way. But we all want the removable and replaceable lenses. And so that seemed to be one of those compromises. They couldn't figure out the flare. But the good news is, if someone else is able to figure it out, and they're able to produce something that will not flare as much without having to put on some sort of other external lens hood, being able to be replaceable and having that standard mount that other manufacturers can then produce accessories for, that is a definite benefit as well. So is it worth it? I think if you are running a GoPro Hero 5 and 6, yes, I think so. If you are running GoPro Hero 8 and you don't really need the front-facing selfie vlogging type of screen, and you're willing to wait for the display mod, which is costing $80 more, I'd probably just stick with GoPro Hero 8 and get that display mod. Let's see when that one's going to be out. So it's supposed to be out sometime later this month. It says out of stock. Yeah. Well, maybe it came in stock and now it's out of stock again. Again, good luck finding it. But the good news is that if you get this and the Media Mod, you will be able to use it as an additional screen for the GoPro Hero 9 Black as well as the Hero 8. Let's see. No, it still doesn't show. It still doesn't show when that's going to be available. So if that's really critical to you and you want the Horizon automatic adjustment, because that's just going to save you a lot of post-production, the GoPro Hero 9 is probably going to be worth it for you. Keep in mind that even at $349, you're going to want to get all these other accessories because there's nothing else that will work with the GoPro Hero 9 at this time. And if you run a third party, let's say you run a Hero 9 black rechargeable camera battery from a third party, you run the risk of having the camera system completely lock up. I've had that happen a few times when I was using this for travel over in New York. It was extremely frustrating because then you got to take the battery out, plug it back in, and you lose all that footage from before that you thought you had recorded. Now, there were a bunch of other improvements on the GoPro Hero 9 lineup that actually were already sort of introduced in beta format to GoPro Hero 8 as well. So if you were thinking about all those other features, chances are those are available on the GoPro Hero 8 as well. You just got to update the firmware. One thing that I thought would have been pretty unique to GoPro Hero 9 was being able to do live webcasting. If that's something you're into directly from your GoPro, turns out that that's actually compatible with some of the previous versions of the GoPros as well. So you don't actually need a GoPro Hero 9 to go ahead and do that, including the webcam module, which is still in beta right now. So the beta one was not working for me for the software that I'm using, Camtasia software. So that was a little bit disappointing. I was hoping to show you an example of how that works out using my Camtasia software, but it works with, it works with Zoom, works with GoToMeeting, works with these other ones. At least that's what it says it's supposed to do. And that's an additional benefit of having the GoPro Hero 8 series or the 9 series if you were still considering it. So I imagine that the GoPro Hero 8 is going to be dropping in price soon over the next couple of months, which might make it a better choice for the people who don't need the latest and the greatest. But if you look at this right now, let's see, the GoPro Hero 8 is just $50 less than the GoPro Hero 9 if you're looking at it right now. So if we're looking at it just in those terms and what's available, if you can get pretty much the same package, I think it's worth a $50 upgrade for most people who are thinking about using these action cams. But see, here's the thing a lot of people don't consider is that, you look at these videos, the lifestyle footage and the sample stuff that they show, and it looks so exciting, it looks so fun. But how many of us actually go out and do these things to make it worthwhile to have an action camera that does all this stuff? I don't know that many, but maybe, maybe that's just me. Maybe, I've ridden the electric skateboards. I go bicycling. I try to do some outdoors activity stuff. Haven't been doing a whole lot within, I guess, since Corona. But just think about that. Are you doing a lot of these action-related things? And if you're not doing as much, doesn't it just make sense that you stick with your smartphone and just get a newer smartphone that does the 4K resolution, and some are doing 8K now from Samsung, and just record that way. You get a nice mount and mount it the way that you want. It's got a gigantic front-facing screen, of course, just not the back-facing screen. And even the front-facing screen can record 4K on a lot of these smartphones. So do you really need to get something like this? I think it really makes a lot of sense if you're doing a lot of these extreme activities where you just don't want to destroy your $1,000 smartphone, whereas something, the destruction of GoPro Hero or action camera is going to be a lot more palatable to you than destroying your smartphone completely. Because I guarantee that some of this stuff right here, okay, so it's got a new 23.6 megapixel sensor, which is nice incremental upgrade compared to a lot of these are only 16 megapixels on the phones. But with these other phones, you got all these built-in camera lenses now that you can go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. And that's not something you do with the GoPro Hero 9 Black Edition, at least not right now. I mean, they're going to have interchangeable lenses, right? And yes, some people have been hacking these cameras and replacing the lenses on them to get different angles. And, likewise, you can also put on modifying lenses like moment lenses on your smartphone to produce the same results or even better. Plus, the user interface on smartphones is customizable. You can change it such that it's just a matter of downloading apps, right? Yes, these things do get better and better with software updates, but they definitely don't get as good as you can potentially get from smartphone camera apps. Okay, so that's another real big reason why you got to ask yourself, do you really need to get the GoPro Hero 9 when you got all these other choices that you can choose from to do things? One of the things a lot of people ask too is, do I need a GoPro in order to start a YouTube video or YouTube channel? And the answer is no, you don't. Just use whatever you have. Just keep creating. Just keep creating. All right, so anyway, all these other features that you see here, a lot of them can be replaced and done using other third-party softwares on your smartphones. So I feel like if you're not an action type of person and you don't need something that is like a blocky profile like this, stick to your smartphone. I'm going to have more details about this as soon as I get my GoPro Hero 9. I know it seems like I'm being a little bit hypocrite by telling you maybe not to get it, but I'm going to get one. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to give you some of my real-world examples and feedback and let you know what I think about it. And please subscribe for more. Like this video. I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching.